Good morning, and thank you for joining us on yet another episode on our favorite channel, Geomusic with Mansour. I am your anchor today, the usual anchor, Mansour Ismaila. And today we are going to take a very quick detour and discuss a very critical issue before we move into the mainstream of discourse on the Iran versus America-Israel war. And what is that? As a diaspora, as a foreigner in the Gulf environment, especially the GCC countries, how do you survive this war? How do you get out of harm's way? How do you get out of trouble? You're not a citizen. You're a Nigerian, you're an Indian, you're Filipino, you're Afghan, you're a Thai, you're a foreigner who has simply gone on to work in the Gulf. By Gulf, I mean Gulf countries such as Saudi Arabia, such as Qatar, such as Bahrain, such as all those Gulf countries, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, and all such countries. You have gone on to work in the Gulf, and now you're stuck. Now you have not yet been able to get out of the trouble, to get out of the insecurity that is currently pervading the Gulf. How do you survive? How do you ensure that by God's grace you are not a casualty on this war? How do you ensure that you come back home safe, sound, healthy, and out of trouble? That is what we are going to be discussing this morning. Now, very importantly, I want you to note the steps. And please, if you are in the Gulf or if you have friends or family in the Gulf, I would strongly advise that you send this video to them so that they can learn, so that they can use the geopolitics of it, so that they can use the global conflict analysis of it to help to distill lessons that will help keep them safe, alive, and well. They are not belligerents. Nigeria is not at war with either Iran, the US, or Israel. Neither is Thailand, neither are all those countries. The first tip, very important, is that as much as possible, stay at home. As much as possible, stay at home. You see, the people those Iranians are looking for are least likely to be in neighborhoods that usually host diasporans like you. The people the Iranians are hunting around the Gulf countries with drones and ballistic missiles and all such assault weapons are primarily Americans and Israelis. If you stay at home, you are much less likely to be in an environment where they will be, such that, God forbid, you will now become a victim of collateral damage. That is one, stay at home. Two, some of you may still need to go to work. When you go, be careful. When you go to work, be careful. Always ensure that you maintain maximum situational awareness. Always be wary of what is happening around you, the kind of people who are around you, and things like that. Number three, avoid hotels as much as possible, especially high-profile hotels. High-profile hotels and all those luxurious skyscrapers, avoid them as much as possible. Why? When those Americans and Israelis who are being hunted, so to say, by the Iranians, get out of their military bases, get out of their safe zones, safe locations, they tend to go to hotels and they tend to go to those expensive Airbnb skyscrapers. As much as possible, avoid going to those places if you can. Very important. Number four, if you have booked your flight, scheduled to travel, if they do not invite you to the airport, do not go there. If they do not invite you, if the authorities of the country where you are, if the aviation authorities of the country where you are do not invite you to the airport, do not go there. Only go to the airport to take your flight when it is available, after you have been invited. Why? Because currently, the Iranians are practically putting those airports under security lockdown. And the way they do it is to ensure that at those times when they don't want planes to fly, they simply send Shahed drones there to take something out. So the folks that are of interest to them are usually in those airports. So please, do not go to the airports if you are not invited to come and take your flight. Because usually, before you are invited, they will have received security clearance from the Iranians. We allow you to take your flights to evacuate this number of people at this time so you can fly. So please do not do that. Number four, avoid diplomatic enclaves as much as possible, especially of the United States of America, of European countries, and of Israel. Avoid diplomatic enclaves as much as possible. Very, very important, because currently they are foci for attack by the Iranians. They are major foci for attack by the Iranians. Number 5, if you live in a residence that is close to a military base, you live close to Al Udeid in Qatar, you live close to Ad-Dafra in the UAE, you live close to the Sultan base. If you live close to any military installation in and around the Gulf, as much as possible, it is time for you to evacuate. Because when Iran sends missiles and drones there, if they miss those drones, as in those bases, it is most likely those ballistic missiles and those drones will land in settlements and environments that are close to those bases. May God not let us be victims of collateral damage. Very, very important. And lastly, I pray for you. I wish good for you. We are Nigerians. I am Yoruba, for example. So I'll pray for you in Yoruba. Rasajo. Ani rasajo. A kiri okodele o. Aburo de din ṣe kankan náà wá pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run. Thank you very much. So, as usual, send this video to your family and friends who are in the Gulf, who are stuck in the Gulf right now. Very important. As usual, please remember to share, remember to like, remember to comment, and please ask your questions on the comment thread of this channel. And by God's grace, we are going to find time to answer them. Thank you very much.